The landscape of global girls' love media shifted on its axis the moment Peraya and Yoko Apasra shared the screen in blank. The series. It wasn't just the record-breaking 350 million views or the international fan meetings that defined them. It was the rare, lightning-in-a-bottle chemistry that bridged a generational gap and redefined what on-screen intimacy could look like. However, as we move through 2026, the digital atmosphere has become thick with speculation. The FayeYoko hashtag, once a constant stream of joint appearances and synchronized schedules, has transformed into a complex debate about individual identity, career longevity, and the reality of the entertainment industry. To understand the truth behind their current professional separation, one must look past the frantic headlines and look at the strategic evolution of two women who are arguably at the peak of their powers. This transition period is not merely a coincidence of scheduling. It is a calculated response to the pressures of a global fame that neither could have fully anticipated when they first stepped into the roles of Kunnuing and Anung. For years, Faye and Yoko were marketed as an inseparable unit, a power duo whose brand was built on their shared narrative. This was a symbiotic relationship that served the story of blank perfectly. But as the series concluded its primary run and moved into the annals of GL history, the question of what comes next began to loom large. In the Thai entertainment industry, the concept of a shipped couple, or gene, is a double-edged sword. While it provides a massive, dedicated fan base and immediate commercial viability, it can also act as a gilded cage, trapping talented actors in a cycle of repetitive tropes that hinder their artistic growth. By 2026, both Faye and Yoko reached a crossroads where the choice was either to remain stagnant in the comfort of their joint brand or to take the terrifying leap into solo territory to prove their individual worth. Paraya's lead role in Broken of Love represents more than just a new job. It is a profound declaration of independence. It is a rebirth that allows her to explore a gritty, mature depth that the Kunnuing persona only teased. Faye has always possessed a cinematic gravitas, a way of holding the camera's gaze with a subtle flick of her eyes or a slight shift in posture. In her new project, she isn't playing against the youthful energy of a co-star. She is carrying the weight of a complex, often dark narrative on her own shoulders. This is essential for her longevity. To be a superstar in the long term, Faye must be seen as an actress first and a partner second. Her current work is a testament to her range, moving away from the romantic idealization of GL and into the stark reality of human emotion. Simultaneously, Yoko Apasra has doubled down on her solo presence, engaging with global fanbases through high-fashion collaborations and personal branding that highlights her growth. We first met Yoko as the vibrant, persistent Anung, a character that required a certain level of innocence and tenacity. However, the Yoko of 2026 is a different woman entirely. She has emerged as a fashion icon, a muse for designers who see in her a unique blend of modern edge and classic Thai beauty. Her solo fan meetings are not just about missing her partner. They are about celebrating her own voice. Yoko has cultivated a digital presence that is distinctly her own, focusing on wellness, high-end aesthetics, and a deeper connection with her international audience that transcends the script she has performed. This distance is what fans have labeled as separation, and in the literal sense of their daily schedules, it is. They are no longer attached at the hip for every promotional cycle, and their social media feeds, once a mirror of each other, now reflect distinct personal journeys. However, the truth that many are missing is that this shift is not a sign of friction, but a masterclass in career sustainability. In the world of Thai GL, many pairings burn bright and then fade because they become trapped by their own shipping brand. When the show ends, the actors often struggle to find work that doesn't feel like a shadow of their former duo. Faye and Yoko are actively avoiding this trap. They are looking at the careers of the world's biggest stars, people who can dominate a room alone but choose to collaborate when the moment is right. By establishing themselves as solo powerhouses now, they are ensuring that when they do eventually reunite for a future project, it won't be out of necessity or a desperate grab for fading relevance, but because the script is worthy of their combined talent. This separation is a protective measure for their legacy. It allows the audience to miss them, to crave their reunion, and most importantly, to respect them as individual artists rather than just two halves of a whole. The anxiety within the fandom is understandable. When you've invested years of emotion, time and financial support into a duo, seeing them walk separate red carpets feels like the end of an era. It triggers a fear of abandonment within the community. But the truth of 2026 is that the FayeYoko bond has moved from the screen to the bedrock of their careers. They are supporting each other's solo wins from the sidelines, proving that their connection isn't dependent on a joint contract. For the YouTube creators and the community analysts, the current data shows something fascinating. Interest in them hasn't dropped, it has doubled. Fans are now tracking two separate career paths while waiting for the moments where they intersect. This isn't a breakup. It is a brand expansion. It is the widening of the FayeYoko universe. We must also consider the psychological toll of being half of a power couple. The constant scrutiny, the pressure to maintain a specific image, and the demand for constant interaction can be exhausting. By taking this time to breathe as individuals, Faye and Yoko are actually preserving their friendship. They are allowing themselves to grow as people without the shadow of a brand constantly looming over their personal choices. This professional distance creates a healthy boundary that is often missing in the gene culture of the industry. It allows them to come back together with fresh perspectives and renewed energy. As Faye dives into the emotional complexity of Broken of Love and Yoko continues to capture the international fashion world, the narrative of their separation actually serves to keep them at the center of the conversation. Every solo interview that asks about the other, every like on a social media post, and every subtle nod to their history keeps the flame alive. The truth is that Faye and Yoko are smarter than the rumors. They know that to stay relevant in an industry that moves at the speed of light, you have to be willing to evolve, even if that evolution means standing alone for a while. The 2026 shift is a brave move that prioritizes art over easy marketing, and for those who truly support them, this era isn't about the distance between them, it's about the incredible height they are both reaching. The duo isn't over. It's simply becoming legendary. They are teaching the industry that you can be a duo without losing your soul, and you can be solo without losing your partner. This is the era of FayeYoko 2.0. Stronger, independent, and more iconic than ever before.